traditional values are important in defining who we are and helping us appreciate our unique identity. So it's heartwarming to see children and young Nigerians interested in it and showing off our culture. Stay tuned for displays by children, all part of activities to mark our 61st independence anniversary. Then the internet has become a crucial part of our existence, changing the way we interact and even run our affairs. Most people have multiple or at least one social media account, same for businesses and diverse organizations. All we do literally revolves around digital communication. What if one day, puff, and the internet shuts down? What then happens? Have you ever thought of that? How were we even interacting before social media dominated our lives? Our correspondent will shed more light on this using the digital shutdown that occurred, thankfully, just for us. On the social media, we have all kinds of interesting news. Making the rounds is a story of a tree that is over 80 years old that fell as a result of heavy windstorm, killing 4 people and arose standing firm the very next day. How true is this? Stay on the line for details. Then, what on earth would make a teenager sell her own blood sister? Scary and shocking. We have this report and other human interest stories for you today. For now, I'll pass the baton to Claire Adelabu Abdurazak in Abuja for the news. I'll be right back after. Claire, it's your turn.
Yes, I know, Jennifer, indeed, whatever happens, life will continue. But Saturday was like winking in the dark. Welcome to Abuja, and let's begin with football. Nigeria Super Eagles have not only restored their unassailable lead in Group C, but also restored confidence in Nigeria soccer fans by defeating Central African Republic by 2-0 in the return leg played in Douala, Cameroon this afternoon. Our correspondent Amasi Marcus has that report.
Improvement to what we had in the first leg. I think 3 points is really very important at this stage. Now having 9 points in our kitty, closely followed by the Cape Verdean, who have 7 points. So meaning that we still have a lot of work to do.
An unpalatable part of this image that the Super Eagles, when they are playing supposed minnows, so to speak, they count the points before the game. I think the time has come for us to sit down and know that until the game is played, the point is not in the bag.
With sports update, Manzi Marcus, NTA News.
Well, I guess we can breathe a sigh of relief. Tamara Biwe will be bringing us more sports stories later on in the program. For now, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo has advised Nigerians at home and abroad to always promote the message of one Nigeria, noting that anyone who looks at how Nigeria operates will recognize that the people are better off in the system and that this is not the time to break up. Now, this was during an interactive session with top officials of Nigeria's High Commission in the United Kingdom. Vice President Osinbajo explained that Nigeria is at a point in history where there are security and economic challenges, which he says government and people of Nigeria are capable of handling entirely. Professor Osinbajo also acknowledges the credibility of President Muhammadu Buhari as a crucial factor in galvanizing the entire system and resolving those challenges. The Vice President urged staff of the High Commission to remain good ambassadors of the country and make more efforts to promote government programs and policies.
Consumption in developing countries has doubled in the last 15 years and is expected to grow another 30% in the next 50 years. So making capital available to fulfill our own growing energy demand and the energy demand of our regions of the world is central to reaching the goals of the Paris Agreement. I think that this is a point that we've made repeatedly and which we will continue to make. So while we are resolutely committed, to all of our goals, our we've set out for ourselves under the Paris Agreement. Obviously, we've also, in fact, recently updated our ambitions, especially our MDCs, our contributions were significantly updated, because certainly we are committed to the process.
Vice President Yemi Osinbajo there. Now, the Petroleum Tanker Drivers Association has called off its planned strike action. A statement by the Group General Manager, Group Public Affairs Department of the NNPC, Garibuddin Mohammed, says the development came after intensive engagement involving the leadership of the PTD and NNPC officials, as well as other government agencies. The statement also says that the NNPC appreciates the maturity and patriotism of the leadership of the PTD and reiterates its resolve to actively participate in finding a quick and effective solution to the concerns raised by the PTD. And the African Development Bank, AFADB, will be investing $3 billion to support Africa's pharmaceutical and vaccines production capacity to boost quality health care on the continent. The president of the bank, Dr. Akinwumi Adesina, confirmed this in a meeting with African ambassadors and the Chancellery of the Republic of Congo in Washington. Justin Bem Unye reports.
The COVID-19 pandemic had made the challenge of development tougher, with 5 million Africans infected by the virus and more than 200,000 lives lost. Africa must learn some critical lessons from this experience, as the continent must not outsource the health security of its 1.3 billion people to the generosity and the benevolence of others.
And we must develop Africa's indigenous pharmaceutical capacity, industrial manufacturing capacity. Right now, Africa imports more than 80% of all the pharmaceutical products that we use on the continent. The second is we must develop Africa's vaccine manufacturing capacity on our continent.
The bank, he explained, had moved quickly, launching a $10 billion crisis response facility to provide fiscal support to countries and going to the international capital markets to launch a $3 billion fight COVID-19 social bond. The African ambassadors showed enthusiastic support for the bank's agenda and commended Dr. Adesina for his leadership. Justin Bem Unye, NTA News.
And World Health Organization Mental Health Action Plan has been extended to 2030 to provide new opportunities for progress as the world misses the 2020 target. WHO Director General Dr. Tedros Ghebreyesus says it calls for concern that despite the increasing need for mental health services during the COVID-19 pandemic, good intentions are not being met with investments. Our correspondent Basi Itaikman tells us more.
World Health Organization's new Mental Health Atlas paints a disappointing picture of the worldwide failure to provide people with mental health services they need at a time when the COVID-19 pandemic is highlighting a growing need for mental health support. The increased attention given to mental health in recent years is yet to result in a scale-up of quality mental services.
Close to 1 billion people are living with a mental disorder. 3 million people die every year from the harmful use of alcohol, and 1 person dies every 40 seconds by suicide. Yet, relatively few people have access to quality mental health services.
The WHO boss identified lack of progress in leadership, governance, and financing as pointers to the failure.
Stigma, discrimination, punitive legislation, and human rights abuses are still widespread.
The Atlas is a compilation of data provided by countries around the world on mental health policies. It is also the mechanism for monitoring progress towards meeting the targets in WHO's Comprehensive Mental Health Action Plan. Basi Taikman, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the federal government is collaborating with key players in the health sector to put health institutions back on track. Ijoma Ugweke reports that government is doing this through passage of bills and policy implementation to address challenges in that sector.
The committee, led by the chairman, were on a fact-finding mission on developmental projects in the South-South and Southeast, especially those related to COVID. This is part of efforts to ensure all tertiary health institutions brace up to the challenge of emergencies. The committee chairman said the federal government allotted funds to improve services at health institutions, hence the visit.
When COVID started, we had less than 300 ventilators in the country, and the oxygen usage or delivery of oxygen through ICU was very, very minimal. But I can tell you now, in all the hospitals in the country that are federally owned, we have what we have seen here in UBT.
The committee also visited the Dialysis and Bond Center, Mental Health and Drug Rehabilitation, Accident and Emergency Radiology Annex, as well as Molecular Lab for COVID tests. The senators also urged the management of UPTH to put more efforts towards maintenance of infrastructure and light up some areas in the hospital. In Port Harcourt, Ijomu Gweke, NTA News.
And the Onen Chair, the 10th, His Royal Highness King Apollos II, has been commended for his sterling leadership and support in promoting peace, security, as well as development in his community and environs. The recognition was made at a town hall meeting with Nigerian Council of Chiefs and stakeholders from Nigerian Leme community, where salient issues affecting the community were discussed. Here is Ijoma Gweke's report.
It was a royal welcome as King Apollos II arrived the King's Court, venue of the meeting, which is already filled to capacity with the Council of Chiefs, elders, women and youths of Nchia Eleme who gathered to get updates on issues as it concerns them. Some of the chiefs, elders and women, while appreciating the king for convening the meeting, raised issues that affect the welfare and progress of Nchia Eleme, such as land and boundary matters. Some expressed dissatisfaction over judgments reached in some issues at their respective villages, seeking for the king's intervention. His Royal Highness Apollos II, who spoke in his dialect, admonished the chiefs working with him not to discriminate, but use their positions to ensure peace and unity in their communities. Eleme, he said, is one kingdom, hence the need to eschew difference and things that are capable of tearing them apart. The king also appreciated the support his people bestow on him since his installation and assured them that all issues raised will receive the needed attention for the peace and growth of the community. The General Assembly of Nchia Council of Chiefs, elders and women were glad for the opportunity to interface with their king, which reflected in impressive turnout. From Nchia Eleme, Ijomu Gweke, NTA News.
And the Adamawa State Police Command has confirmed an attack on one of its stations located in Ngururi town of Yola South local government area. Tafawa Hamzamayo reports that no life was lost during the incident.
Unknown gunmen attacked the police station in the early hours of Sunday when they visited a house near the station and abducted a widow with her daughter. Through telephone conversation, the police public relations officer DSP Suleiman Yahayangoroji said the police are after the gunmen and soon they will make public the outcome of their investigations.
Actually, the attack was made on the police station and a particular house where the victim was kidnapped. And it was done simultaneously so that they can prevent police from at least reinforcing or preventing them from facilitating their intention And at the same time, while the attack was ongoing at the police stations, another set of people were sporadically shooting into the air, and that was what resulted the kidnapping of the victim.
As of the time of filing in this report, no arrest was made, and people are going about their normal businesses in the town. In Yola, Tafawa, Hamza Mayo, NTA News.
And security infrastructure constructed by the United Nations Regional Stabilization Facility in collaboration with Borno State Government at Banki Town have been inaugurated and handed over to the various organizations. Mohammed Goni reports that the facility is to enhance border security.
Through the Regional Stabilization Facility, security outfits that include immigration and custom offices and staff quarters, as well as police community comprising the station and staff accommodation, were constructed for security operatives to provide the needed protection. Borno State Government constructed border protection wall of about 5 kilometers separating the two neighboring countries.
So overall, impressive progress, proof of concept that stabilization, as we have installed it, works. And it has also given us the confidence to go into a next phase where we will consolidate some of these gains and begin also to lay the foundations for more sustainable development.
We shall work with the UNDP through the regional stabilization facilities to ensure some of the important roads that are in a deplorable condition. We can still look at some of the roads, but I think Maiduguri to Bama Road is one of the biggest roads that we have, and federal government is doing all its effort.
Rest of the benefiting security organizations express gratitude to the UN facility and the Borno State government for creating a conducive working environment for their personnel and pledge to discharge their responsibilities in line with their mandates. The UN delegation, accompanied by Governor Bagana Umara, also inspected the 500 housing estate also being built through the Regional Stabilization Facility. From Banki in Bama Local Government, Mahmoud Goni, NTA News.
And the Federal Road Safety Corps is alerting the motoring public and commuters traveling from or to southwest through Kabai-Kiti Federal Highway to a fifth section of the road at Yamoye. A statement from the Corps Public Education Officer, BC Kazim, says the development has led to lack of free flow of traffic and advised motorists, travelers and the public to take alternative routes. The statement says the Federal Ministry of Works and Housing is already activating appropriate action to ameliorate the situation. The Federal Road Safety Corps solicits cooperation of the motoring public on this development and pledges to continue to update the public on further developments. President Muhammadu Buhari rejoices with the Gbomgbom Jos and Chairman Council of Chiefs and Emirs in Plateau State, His Royal Majesty that Jacob Yang Buba, on the occasion of his 70th birthday. The President, in a congratulatory message, joins family, friends and the people of Jos in thanking God for bestowing benevolence on His Majesty in a lifetime of service as a public servant and later as a traditional ruler. The President appreciates Gbomgbom Jos for serving his community with dignity and wisdom, unwavering in his commitment to peace and stability in the plateau since ascending the throne of his fathers in 2009. President Buhari prays that the royal fathers' avowed devotion to the unity of the country and passion to better the lives of those around him will continue to inspire generations to come. And President Muhammad Buhari also congratulates the winner of the 2021 Nobel Prize for Literature, Abdul Razak Gona, a former lecturer in Bayero University, Kano. A statement from the State House quotes the president as saying, in winning the prize, the Swedish Academy highlighted the Tanzanian's novelist uncompromising and compassionate penetration of the effect of colonialism and the fate of the refugees in the gulf between cultures and continents. The president salutes the bold African voices using arts, music, literature, and sports to stress that the continent's world is better when everyone treats one another with dignity and respect. And earlier on in the news, we told you that the Nigeria Super Eagles have beaten their Central African Republic counterpart by 2-0 in the return leg. Here is Tamara Ibiwe with latest reports also in the qualifying matches. Hello, Tamara.
Thank you, Claire, and welcome to Sports Updates. Done with Nigeria's 0-2 victory over Central African Republic earlier in the bulletin. But now take a look at other FIFA 2022 African qualifying results. Kenya lost at home 0-1 to Mali. Uganda defeated Rwanda by a lone goal. Benin Republic were beaten at home 0-1 by Tanzania. Zambia and Equatorial Guinea played a 1-0 draw. Cape Verde outscored Liberia 1-0, while Madagascar were also 1 goal better than DR Congo. Talking boxing now, Nigeria heavyweight boxer Ife Ajagba lost his first professional fight to Kyobon Kubari Frank Sanchez in the early hours of Sunday at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. It was a solid performance from Sanchez, who landed a knockdown en route to claiming a unanimous decision win over Ajagba by 9-7, 9-2, 9-8, 9-1, 9-8, 9-1.
And go out there and get it done. Especially these last 2 rounds, you got to say you win. You got to win these last 2 rounds. That's what I'm saying. You got to win.
Talking golf now, the 21st IBB Ladies Close Tournament ended in Abuja Saturday with Lady Captain Mary Rose Richard Obioha playing off handicap 26, shot a gross of 197 with a net score of 148 to emerge overall winner.
I encourage the young ones to engage in the game of golf. It's quite exercising, it tasks your brain, it cautions you, and above all, it checks your integrity.
People who are healthy or seeking to maintain their good health are advised to walk, cycle, or do other forms of exercise that their body can take. But golf is a special game. You play on your own, you play your own ball, you count, so it gives you both mental and physical exercise.
Done with golf now. Talking athletics, Kenya's Ruth Chepngetich is still celebrating her victory at the Women's Chicago Marathon in USA. Ruth Chepngetich, who won the 2019 World Championships, completed the Chicago Marathon in 2 hours, 22 minutes and 3.1 seconds on Sunday. Ethiopia's Seifu Tura won the men's race in 2 hours, 6 minutes and 12 seconds. The marathon returned this year after it was cancelled in 2020 due to the COVID-19 pandemic. And that's a sports update. Claire, back to you.
Thank you, Tamara, and I'm sure Nigerians are happy with the results of the latest Super Eagles match. Now, let's look at other news. The remains of late Malama Aishatu Abba, mother to Senior Special Assistant to President on Domestic Affairs Sariki Abba, have been laid to rest. Simon Asha reports that a delegation from the presidency witnessed the funeral prayers held at the Jumeta Central Mosque, Yola, Adamawa State.
Compound Sariki Abba, a senior special assistant to the president on domestic affairs in Jumeta, was filled with mourners and sympathizers from all walks of life who converged in condolence over the demise of his mother, Aishatu Abba. Hundreds of sympathizers also gathered at Jumeta Central Mosque, where the chief imam of the mosque, Imam Safiano Iya Runde, led the funeral prayers. Thereafter, she was committed to the mother earth. While condoling the family, on behalf of President Muhammadu Buhari, the senior special assistant to the president on media and publicity, Malan Garba Shehu, described her demise as a great loss not only to the family but to the nation as a whole.
The president asked that we come to Yola and be part of the burial ceremonies and also convey his heartfelt condolences to the family of Sarki Abba, to the Adamawa Emirate Council, and to the government and the people of Adamawa State. The president believes this is a huge loss.
Aged 96, Late Malama Aishatu Abba left behind 2 children and many grand and great-grandchildren.
I will be praying for her. Yes, may the Almighty Allah forgive her and give her Al-Jannah al-Firdausi.
In Yola, Simon Asher, NTA News.
All right, let's now join Onyilo Desmond Onyilo at the Weather Center for Monday's weather outlook.
Welcome to the forecast. We have weather systems just at the edge of the country. We expect these to give rains right from Sunday night to parts of Taraba, and with good moisture influx, we expect this to be sustained into Monday morning, giving prospects of morning rains to parts of Benue State, National Federal Capital Territory, Kogi, and the southeastern parts of the country. We expect these weather systems to move towards the west by late morning and early afternoon, giving them prospects of rains extending to parts of Niger State. And by late evening, we expect weather systems to still spring up, giving prospects of thunderstorms with little rain this time around over southern parts of Kaduna, southern plateau, the high grounds of Taraba, the high ground and the coastal parts of the southeast.
And that ends the news from our studios here in Abuja. Time to join Jennifer in Lagos. But of course, we do ask you to connect with us, that's the NTA, in the fight against rape and rapists. That way you too will be a star. Let's have some commercials.
Sensational world of love, now accessible through one code, *777#.
The pride of university education in Nigeria, Abuja, wishes to inform students who have just written their NECO and WASC examinations that admission to 2021-2022 academic session is still open and ongoing. Undergraduate and postgraduate programs are available in the colleges of engineering, law, medicine and health sciences, social and management sciences. Application form may be downloaded online or obtained at Afeb Babalola University, Adwekiti, Emmanuel Chambers, Abuja, Lagos, Ibadan, Port Harcourt, and Montessori International School, Warri. Applicants are to access admissions.abua.edu.ng and follow the step-by-step guide to process and write the post-UTME test. Please visit www.abua.edu.ng or call 081-2777-2121 or 090-1157-4312. Abua, a vision in action.
Hey there! What's on your bucket list? Would you like to travel the world? Live your best life? What if I told you you could blow right this minute and do everything on that list? Airtel is celebrating its anniversary and saying thank you to all loyal customers. You stand a chance to win up to 100 million naira with guaranteed cash tokens in the Airtel Recharge and Blow Anniversary promo. Plus 250 megabytes and 20 SMS free. How awesome is that? All you have to do is recharge to win. For more information, dial *444*4#. Everyone's a winner. So hurry now. The more you recharge, the more you win.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
obstetrician. I meet pregnant mothers every day who count on my care. One question they ask me very often is, what supplement is best during and after pregnancy? Well, I always recommend Obron 6. Obron 6 is designed to provide specific nutrients to help you and your baby's healthy development. Obron 6 is also recommended for women who are trying to have a baby. Give you and your baby the nutrients you deserve with Obron 6.
Obron 6. Healthy mother, healthier baby.
In continuation of the ongoing zonal public hearing involving all state executives, legislature and judicial officers, local government chairmen and officials, civil society groups, organized labor, elder statesmen, traditional rulers and the general public on the review of the revenue allocation formula across the 6 geopolitical zones of the country, the Revenue Mobilization Allocation and Fiscal Commission wishes to announce a slight change in dates for the remaining zones as follows. Southeastern State Zonal Hearing. Host, Imo State. Dates 13th and 14th October 2021. North Central State Zonal Hearing. Host, Kogi State. Dates 18th and 19th October 2021. Northeastern States Zonal Hearing. Host, Gombe State. Dates 21st and 22nd October 2021. Northwestern State Zonal Hearing. Host, Kaduna State. Dates 25th and 26th October 2021. FCT. Date 28th October 2021. All stakeholders are expected to effectively participate in the process and to submit 5 hard copies of their memoranda in addition to the soft copy on the proposed review to the Secretary of the Commission on phone number 0803-562-4400 before or during the public hearing. All memoranda should contain the contact address and telephone numbers of the authors. Signed, Management.
The federal government, through NPHCDA, commenced Phase 2 vaccination of all persons 18 years and above with safe and effective COVID-19 vaccines approved by WHO and certified by NAFDAC. Special arrangement has been made for staff, their dependents and retirees of ministries, departments and agencies of government, private corporate organizations and non-governmental organizations. To benefit from this special arrangement, visit www.nphcda.gov.ng/corporate vaccination/ to obtain, fill and submit the Google form. NPHCDA will contact you within 48 hours. Protect yourself, your family and your workplace against COVID-19. COVID-19 vaccines are free, safe and effective. For further inquiries, call 0700-220-1122 or send a mail to covid19.vaccination@nphcda.gov.ng. This message is from the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency.
The Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, invites all honorable ministers, head of the Civil Service of the Federation, federal permanent secretaries, and top government functionaries to a 2-day midterm ministerial review retreat to be presided over by His Excellency Muhammadu Buhari, President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The retreat is scheduled as follows. Date, Monday 11th to Tuesday 12th October 2021. Venue, State House Conference Center, Presidential Villa, Abuja. Time, 9 a.m. daily. The objectives of this midterm ministerial performance review retreat include the following. To report on the progress on the level of implementation of the ministerial mandates along the 9 priority areas of the administration. Review performance of ministries and identify key impediments to implementation of the ministerial mandates. Re-strategize on how to accelerate delivery of results given the current key economic situation. Accreditation of participants for the retreat will commence at the venue on Saturday, 9th and Sunday, 10th October 2021 at 4 p.m. each day. Attendance is mandatory and strictly by invitation. Announcer James Sule, Permanent Secretary, Cabinet Affairs Office, Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation.
Come back. During the week, Facebook and its sister apps, Instagram and WhatsApp, went dark for some hours. It was an unprecedented development that disrupted activities around the globe. This, of course, inspired some thought-provoking questions. Well, Thekla Wilkie also joined the leagues of those asking questions about the influence and impact of these apps on our daily lives, and here are her findings.
October 4 was supposed to be just another regular day. People went about their daily businesses and all seemed normal until catastrophe struck. Facebook, WhatsApp, and Instagram all went dark for what seemed like a lifetime. For some, the lockout was a sharp reminder of the COVID-19 lockdown. Communication was on hold. Families were left in the cold. Businesses froze. The disruption was indeed a reality check for business owners and a clear indication of the number of businesses that rest on the tripod of Facebook, WhatsApp, and Instagram. Even the CEO, Mark Zuckerberg, was not spared, as he reportedly lost about $6 billion in hours. The incident raised fundamental question of how an app giant that houses over 3.5 billion users globally could suddenly go down. I could almost hear subscribers who were stranded and vulnerable in the rain humming Lady Gaga's song Bad Romance. The influence of these apps on daily lives is unquestionable. However, the outage was a moment of reckoning for the global community.
If Mr. Zuckerberg himself decided to do something naughty, we will all be in trouble. Or if somebody found a way to hurt Mr. Zuckerberg, we will all be collateral damage.
Founded in February 2004 in the United States, Facebook is a $1 trillion company with about 2.8 billion users, which consists of 60% of all connected internet users on Earth. The CEO, Mark Zuckerberg, went on to acquire WhatsApp with a 2 billion monthly active users and Instagram, which boasts of over 1 billion users globally. This business move makes Zuckerberg the owner of the world's largest social network sites.
Over-reliance on global platforms should prod us to begin to ask questions about why, at this point in time, we can't begin to have a Nigerian alternative.
Interestingly, the seductive and addictive nature of these platforms are not only enticing to subscribers, but lure them into entrusting sensitive information and data in the care of this tech giant.
People would rather share that what they're going through with people online that don't know them, other than people that they live with on an everyday basis.
While these apps tick the box as the vehicle on which most people bond with family and friends across the globe, there are issues the app is here to address. The emotional impact tops the list, as some users have had their world reduced to fiction driven by the imagination. The result is an exaggerated lifestyle built on falsehood. Sadly, this has sent some impressionable minds down a slippery slope, with many hanging by a thread.
The most vulnerable in this regard are the young people, particularly the very young people. And that's why I think, as much as possible, very young people, very young teenagers should be protected from technology.
There is more. The disinformation and misinformation has turned the wheel of many lives in different directions. There is also the case of a whistleblower with revelations about how Facebook is prioritizing profit over safety. This has prompted a wake-up call that has seen regulators and stakeholders taking quick steps from the bedroom to the boardroom. From all indications, the issues on the table are beyond a slap on the wrist, and stakeholders are not treating it with kid gloves.
We need to also look into how do we break these things down so that one person, one company, one organization does not have so much power as to just cause so much disorientation in like the entire world.
But whether the outcome will guarantee the safety of the end user and advance the interests of public good, only time will tell.
Interestingly, we are all addicted somehow to social media. Now, how would you feel if you wake up one morning and notice that major global communication platforms have shut down? Shocked? Surprised? Probably confused? That was the reaction of most people to the unexpected occurrence on Monday, 4th October 2021, when what can be described as digital shutdown happened. Tessie Coker interacted with some individuals on this.
Anything.
Now the same thing with my own, nothing they show.
What can happen now?
Do you know that some social media users even notice the disruption in service? I guess like me, you were one of those affected by the over 5 hours offline experienced when Facebook, WhatsApp and Instagram all went down due to technical hitches experienced by the service providers.
I wasn't aware that it is from the headquarters. I just thought that there is network problem.
Oh,
it was so bad. So many people I'm supposed to speak with on WhatsApp and Facebook, I was unable to reach them. It was not really easy for me, so I didn't feel good.
It is bizarre to imagine how very dependent the world is on this piece of technology.
It came to me as a rude shock because I remember at a point much later in the day, my little daughter called me and asked me if I was having network on my phone. And I said yes, I could call. But I found out that I wasn't getting messages usually.
I couldn't access my social media handles. I thought it was my data that got finished, so I subscribed. Unfortunately for me, after the subscription, I was just being annoyed that I was not getting my services.
Now, imagine the world without social communication.
No, it'll be something else, I tell you. And I'm always, for every 10 minutes doesn't pass without me getting to my social media and all of that.
I wasn't thinking I've run out of data, but all of a sudden the thing was just waving, that the thing will come up, cold and go.
This is certainly not the first time the world has experienced this shutdown. It happened 2019, but for just an hour and probably unnoticed by a lot.
Many of us are on social media, and it's a lesson that we should not totally rely on social media for communication. To culture, delighted by the cultural exhibition to mark the nation's 61st independence anniversary, President Muhammadu Buhari directed a replication of same for Nigerian children. The National Council for Arts and Culture organized a cultural display at the banquet hall of the Presidential Villa, Abuja. It was a moment for cultural revival and patriotism for the children. Oyinaya Kalu Oka was there for Newsline.
6 secondary schools, 3 from public schools and the other 3 from private schools at the banquet hall of the Presidential Villa. It was a 3-day of fun-filled event with exposure, as the students could not get enough of what has been denied most of them for long due to the influence of modernization and westernization.
Wearing the touch room.
Yes, ma'am. They are beautiful, well decorated, and I'm actually very happy seeing this. And I wish it can be promoted and modernized by the government. Because actually, as a student like me, I didn't know much about the Southeast tradition. But I'm happy that I'm here and I have the chance to actually see this and other cultures as well.
Some of them, like Grace Ajiboyi, 17 years SS3 student, went beyond admiration to practical demonstration of what Nigerian's culture is made of.
I feel excited to know that something like this could actually be found in our country and we still have it. I mean, it feels nice and I feel happy to be able to try it out. And it's fascinating. I'm pushed to come and learn something like this.
The children were encouraged to interact with one another, thereby fostering communal living and unity.
We'll be able to relate better as a nation, discuss and build more innovative ideas for sustainability to this great nation.
Nigeria will not be Nigeria if we break apart. We will stop being Nigeria. I do think that art could be a unifying factor.
It's a very wonderful program to appreciate the diversity of Nigeria.
You know, when they go back now, they try to merge it and look with what they are learning in school, and they compare it together and think we'll be more united.
It did not just end at that, as opportunity was given for questions and answers for the inquisitive minds.
This is acting of the Egbe masquerade. It's a masquerade from the south. Trust me. When this masquerade, when they have an important occasion, this masquerade don't come out all the time, except when they have important. So, which state are you from? Yobe State. You see why we need to know our country better?
Director General, National Council for Arts and Culture, Olusegun Roshewe, is the brain behind the exhibition.
Have succeeded in reawakening their consciousness that this country have an history, we have an heritage, we have iconic things that we can use to describe us as a people. They only found together today. And they are very excited. They are happy. They are looking forward to continue to be with us.
This is a good move. And I think we should also revive the moonlight gatherings where children learn cultural values and history. As Nigerians basked in the euphoria of its 61st independence anniversary, it was double celebration for the people of Gembu in Saudana local government area of Taraba State, as the day coincided with the birthday of one of their illustrious sons, Pa Joseph Wika Nga, who clocked 121 years on October 1st. Bem Hanya, in this report, takes a look at the life and times of the elder statesman who still engages in farming activities.
Centenarian Pa Joseph Nga celebrated his 121st birthday in company of his children, grandchildren, and people on the Mambila Plateau on the 1st of October 2021. NTA News sought to know the mystery behind Pa Joseph Nga's longevity in good health and the things he can do at this age.
I thank the Almighty Father. I'm praising him daily. When I wake up in the morning, the first thing is just to praise him. Because when I look behind my classmate, there's not one that is living. There's not one. It's only myself, and I don't know why he has decided to keep me to right to now.
The cognitive ability of the retired primary school headmaster is still high as he goes down memory lane, referring to some of his national assignments.
One of the best ones was of 1963. I was at the collecting center. I was just like a supervisor. Then two, the plebiscite of 1961. Really, I was one of the officers.
For others, this ripe old age may mean to surrender all activities to stay at home and be looked after. But for Pa Nga, he still engages in farming. He climbed a bike unassisted to take us to one of his farms in the community.
This cowpeas, when you have this sisal hem, which in some countries like Africa, like Uganda, is one of their main exports, as I was taught in primary school, of course.
Members of his family describe the elder statesman as peaceful and a blessing to his community.
He was having a very good character with me, together with the children. We are very happy with him. There was no bad thing that he was doing to us.
Most people call me PA to Pa. They keep the name Grandpa because I'm always with him. Take him to the farm, make sure he's up and doing, he's okay.
At 121 years in good health, what else can one ask of in life?
Wow, 121 years. Longevity, grace indeed. May God continue to strengthen the elder statesman. Now to energy sector. Recently, one of Africa's foremost energy companies and Nigeria's flagship assembled all the names that matter in the energy sector in Abuja. The reason was to examine global trends in energy transition and the African perspective. Let's join Nneka Oko as she takes us through all the major highlights of the event.
It's the second edition of Seplat Energy Summit.
And now, the end is near, and so I face the final curtain.
The conversation on energy transition has been on for a while, but transiting to a safer, cleaner and affordable form of energy is what Seplat is championing at this summit.
But our real message
for energy transition is the fact that there is a shift from the energy mix that the world requires.
75% of our energy usage within Nigeria is biomass. It's charcoal and it's wood. And so what we're trying to do is, with LPG, we'll actually then displace some of the deforestation, which is a problem. Our gas processing will displace diesel.
As expected, global trends in energy transition dominated panel discussions as the experts took turns to explore strategies in driving clean energy adoption while challenging conventional thinking.
Thus, energy transition can no longer be limited to incremental steps. It must be a transformational effort.
We have declared that gas is our transition fuel and also represents a destination fuel, as we envisage that it will be part of our energy mix by 2050.
Raising hopes as to what might be achieved through energy transition, the company unveiled its brand new logo in grand style.
3, 2, 1, get ready.
Seplat is one company that knows what time it is in the world.
This is something that all Nigerians should be very happy with.
With the endorsements of the Ministries of Petroleum, Environment, as well as Science and Technology, among other stakeholders, Seplat Energy said it is poised to deliver sustainable energy solutions to society.
I see your lips.
Let's pause here for some commercials. We'll be back.
Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, Dr. Muhammad Mahmoud Abubakar, cordially invites relevant stakeholders and the general public to the 2021 World Food Day celebration with the theme, Our Actions, Our Future. Some activities include visits and distribution of farm inputs to IDP camps in the FCT, roundtable discussion with stakeholders on agripreneur success stories, mentorship clinic, food safety stakeholders forum. Date, Thursday, 14th October 2021. Time, 9 a.m. Venue, Sheraton Hotels and Towers, Abuja. Ministerial press briefing. Date, Friday, 15th October 2021. Venue, Honorable Ministers Conference Room. Time, 10 a.m. Dr. Ernest Umakihe, Permanent Secretary, Announcer.
Babe? Hey!
Hi!
It's hard to live when you are all alone.
Hi. So, my card isn't working. Hello?
All I hear with the
Good morning. I'm really sorry I'm late. Where are you guys going? Hello? Can anybody hear me? Can you see me?
Get an Airtel Home Broadband and enjoy life as it should be.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
No problem, Ma. We will deliver the fabrics by tomorrow.
Mommy, have you seen my other shoe?
Check under your bed.
Thank you, Mommy.
As a business owner and a mom, sometimes I feel like I've got 1,000,001 things to do.
Mommy, what another word for Pa?
Strength.
Thank you, Mommy.
The new Tasty Tom Jollof Noodles makes cooking one less thing to worry about. Tasty and delicious jollof noodles, just the way I like it.
Something smells delicious. Do I smell jollof? Ah, noodles! But I thought I smelled jollof.
This is not just any type of noodles. This is the new Tasty Tom Jollof Noodles.
The color is just like jollof. And the jollof tastes delicious.
Mommy, more, please.
Relax.
New Tasty Tasty Tom Jollof Noodles. Delicious noodles, the Jollof way.
What's your beautiful? My essence and my energy.
My natural glow and my confidence.
My freshness and fierceness.
My beautiful is being me.
Reveal your beautiful this beauty month with amazing discounts of up to 33% off select Nivea products in participating stores near you. Nivea, be you, be beautiful.
When times are tough, we know that as a mother, one thing you should never compromise on is your family's oral health, because they deserve the best. Oral-B, all-round protection. Its great value, it protects your mouth from harmful bacteria and also protects you against tooth holes and gum problems which can lead to tooth loss. It strengthens your family's teeth and gives them all-round protection. So remember, protect their future. Oral-B for healthier, stronger teeth in just 1 week.
We don't like to eat better, more nutritious meals, more veggies, but we want it tasty and easy too. No cubes, that's the secret. Made with real ingredients like chicken, parsley, and garlic, and enriched with iron, so your meals are better for you and more delicious too. That's the cocoa. Let's give it some accolades. Change your world by changing what's on your plate.
For those wondering why, Schweppes now comes in a new ginger flavor. Experience tells us. The boldest flavors have the most character. Introducing new Schweppes Ginger, a new flavor made with over 200 years of experience.
Come back. Wonders, they say, will never cease. This was the reaction of people in Oyo town following what they claim is the resurrection of a tree that hitherto had fallen, claiming lives at the Sabo area of the town. NTA Oyo crew visited the scene to unravel the mystery surrounding the tree of over 80 years, popularly referred to as Idiodon, meaning under Odon tree. Oyeyinka Omole tells us more.
The tree was said to have been planted some 80 years back by a Sago devotee and a farmer, Tijani Adeleke of Asunara Compound, Sabo, Oyo. It was planted based on the ingenuity of Tijani Adeleke to serve as a relaxation spot for those who farm along the area. It also served as a meeting place between the urban and rural residents who used to bring their farm produce to the village market in the area.
The tree was planted to serve as relaxation spot for those coming from neighboring farms along Sabo Axis. We don't know what made people think otherwise of the ordinary tree.
It was revealed that a rainstorm accompanied with thunder strike resulted in the felling of the tree, which claimed some life.
Believe it, some of us came to see by ourselves, to see what really happened. But unfortunately, we discovered that many people have been killed and some have been hospitalized.
However, barely 24 hours after the incident, news started trending in Oyo and its environment on the re-emergence of the tree. The reason for this could not be ascertained, as different people apparently attributed it to different factors.
Yesterday around 6:30 again, we heard that the tree has even stood up again. What? So we couldn't come yesterday night, but this morning we come to see what really happened, and to our surprise, we discovered that the tree still stood upright.
The news went viral that the tree was returned back to his stand. What I can say about that is that the weight of the tree that made it fall, when the weight were removed by the people, the branches were cut off to pave way for the motorists and the people passing. Automatically, when the weight was removed, the remains stems will go back to its normal.
The paramount ruler of Oyo, Oba Lamide Adeyemi III, also visited the spot to ascertain the level of damage done and sympathized with the families of the victims. The incident was first of its kind in the area.
Interesting. Okay, now to UEFA news. Goals from Karim Benzema and Kylian Mbappe in the 66th and 80th minutes landed France the UEFA Nations League title moments ago. France came from behind after Spain to win the second edition of the UEFA Nations League. Now to a mysterious story, scary one indeed. Siblings are naturally expected to protect each other from any outside aggression. But in this situation where one allegedly connives with a stranger to sell her own sister at the rate of 200,000 naira, leaves one asking, where is the world heading to? Ijoma Peter Wante interacted with the suspect in Abakaliki to ascertain what could have led to the action.
Most individuals desire that they will have someone, especially blood relations, that will give them the needed protection. But that was not the priority of one Peace, a 21-year-old single mother who reportedly disguised her 6-year-old sister as a boy and sold to a 43-year-old widow who allegedly has been into the business of trafficking. The evil plan was perfected and money exchanged hands between the duo before Miss Peace allegedly decided to involve the police.
Nan told me that she used to buy children, that she used to do it before. And every time that I'm coming back from work, she used to tell me about that. And I said that I would set trap for her. So yesterday, she now met me, said that I should come, let me carry my sister, let's go HIV test. So 3 of us now go the test. She said that I should meet her at the Presco gate. And I meet her, she give me money, 150,000. She did not know that I never go, that I had somewhere and be watching her. When she enter Kekan, my sister will go. And I enter bike and be following her.
The 43-year-old Ebube Chuku, who confessed to the crime, said it was not with evil intention.
I asked her, is they normally do adoption in this place? So yes, that she's one of them that did it. So and I told her, okay, I am interested.
Amidst the allegations and counter-allegations between Peace and Ebube Chuku on who initiated the conversation that led to the evil act, Commissioner of Police, Ebonyi State Command, Aliyu Galba, said investigation is on to unravel the truth.
The said amount was recovered as exhibit. Investigation has commenced and suspects will soon be arraigned in court.
Caring less about who will be held responsible for attempting to sell their 6-year-old daughter, parents of the victim could not hide their joy that the name of their child, Chimwanya, meaning my God is alive, has finally manifested in the scenario.
I thank God for what God has done for me, for save my child for me. I thank all the policemen. I thank God.
Shocking, really shocking. Now to mental health. It is a health condition that is not visible, and many sufferers are not even aware of it. To some, however, this health condition has spiritual undertone and can only be cured spiritually, while to others, engaging in some unhealthy arts is the way to break free from it. But has it a better solution? Wondering what I'm talking about? Then listen to Annie Daniels.
Meow meow, my dog is back in now. Whoop whoop whoop. My name is One Timos Killeman. Ebola know that is my name.
Are you surprised at that? Like you heard, his name is One Thing Must Kill a Man. Ebola no day. So long a name.
I love making people happy, catching the fun, forgetting their sorrow.
Still wondering, I threw this question at him, although with caution.
With your slippers, the way you're dressed. I think you have some mental problems.
No, I've been there since yesterday. I do go outside and make music.
He told me music runs in his bloodline and has been his source of joy and income. Again, I asked what else gives him joy.
Actually, I smoke ganja, weed up. Yeah, when I weed up, in order to get inspiration,
You don't need to smoke to get inspirations. You don't need to drink to get inspirations.
Aleton says it is a clear case of mental health disorder. Research by World Health Organization shows that 1 out of every 4 Nigerians suffer from mental health disorder.
When you tell people, go and see a psychiatrist, they say over my dead body. Because their image is somebody on the road wearing tattered clothes and walking naked. Meanwhile, if you stay here for like 1 day or few hours, you see people that come to us, they are not wearing tattered clothes, they are not scratching their eye, they are not, they are not roaming the street, they are not vagabonds. People come in their cars, people come in their nice apparel, and they take their injections and medication, they go.
Dr. Nubi cited stress, trauma, depression, discouragement, and several others as mental health disorder triggers.
Mental illness is no respecter of whether you are rich, poor, it's no respecter of stature, high or low.
So, how many Nigerians are aware of this?
Medical fitness of an individual.
Nobody have testified that I'm behaving abnormally.
To these respondents, mental health disorder can also be spiritually motivated.
Maybe by mistake or by deliberate plan of demolish people and so on and so forth. When they have influence on some people, they take control of that person.
You see many people that are walking on the street aimlessly. That spiritual mental sickness, it requires spiritual diagnosis through prayers and deliverance.
Dr. Nubi also blames increased number of mental health cases on the social media. So, can mental health disorder be treated?
You don't talk of cure when you're talking of chronic conditions. Either hypertension, diabetes, and co. They are not curable, you manage them. So it's possible for people to have emotional problem, mental illness, and they'll still live their full potential.
Dr. Nubi advises the public against indulging in abnormal coping strategies like engaging in hard drugs, alcoholism, self-pity, amongst others.
Mental health and our well-being are linked. We must take it seriously. Now, apart from product and content, packaging and presentation can enhance and promote the sales of products. It is the case with a young man in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State. Newsline has been following the marketing style he adopts in hawking pap pudding, popularly known as agidi. His admirers describe him as dogged and resilient. Imediong Umor is on standby to unravel the passion behind Moses Ubi and his agidi business.
Moses
Obi, 22 years old, through the help of an aunt, learned how to prepare agidi. Moses Obi served the auntie for a period of 10 years before deciding to be independent through the help of a friend. This friend assisted him financially to start up agidi business.
Because of, let's say, love, due to how we started from the school fellowship, and because he already explained himself to me that he's staying with his auntie, and I know little about him. So when he said that his auntie threw him out, I have not, and the auntie returned him to the village. So I was, no, that you can't go back to the village.
Though the journey to success, according to him, was not smooth, the young man is zealous towards achieving his goals.
I had a challenge that my auntie daughter saw me on the road. She had to collect my agidi and pour it on the ground and was insinuating on me, but I never mind. Why I never mind was because I knew where I'm going to.
Moses Obi, who dressed corporately around the streets of Uyo metropolis selling agidi, said he dressed to look appealing to his customers.
People who are hawking it on the roadside, and if you look at them, you see the way they dress. Their dressing alone will even discourage you from buying such, buying their product. So, and this agidi, I really take time to prepare the agidi very well, prepare it very well, so that whoever sees me, even when you see me dress, you will be attracted. Most time I put on my senator, I will now decide, even though they don't want to buy, just tell them I'm the only qualified, recognized, educated agidi that says educated agidi in Akwa Ibom State, educated agidi that has an uncompromisable taste, educated agidi that gives starch, which is carbohydrate, and not only carbohydrate, but carbohydrates in collaboration with other nutrients such as protein, fat, and all mineral salts and vitamins. So in other words, you call it balance there. So a lot of people are always flabbergasted each time they heard me say that.
The 22-year-old at times involves the services of dispatch riders to convey his commodity to consumers, hence widening his sales and customer base. Some of his customers testify to the sumptuous taste of this agidi.
Yeah, I do patronize him. He's a nice guy. One funny thing about him is that he loves his business and always very straight, humble.
That my neighbor, I like him. His dad is doing that business. I patronize him most every day.
He's just a nice man. He thinks out of box.
When asked where he hopes to see his business, Moses says his plan is to make his agidi available in all parts of the country once he has funds for certification and manpower.
I want to be independent. That's why I'm doing this business. I want to be independent. I don't want to serve anybody. I want to do it on myself. I already have vision, and my vision is just to, I know that this agidi is taking me to places.
Well done, Moses. I mean, who would think agidi and his strategy, I'll call it top-notch, first class. Creative ideas can sell your business. Well done again, Moses. Now, operators of local tea bars known in the local palace as Meishai belong to a non-elitist business circle and are regarded as people of low social status, despite good turnover that spins in the business. Imagine, therefore, a serving elected local government councillor, a deputy leader of the council for that matter, combining his legislative work with local tea selling business. Where else would you find a Meishai councillor, if not Kano, where value attachment to business is a cherished norm? Aminu Omar captures the man in his double routines.
According to Pope Francis, there is no worse material poverty than the poverty which prevents people from earning their bread and deprives them of their dignity of work. This is a reality. Dayeb Lawang, councillor in Gorzo Local Government Council of Kano State, has learned the hard way and is to him a destiny changer. He was compelled to discover himself after spending 8 years in power in his local government council, but when he eventually left, he was out of power, money and all means of putting meal on his family table. He therefore conquered pride and opted for a job associated with law in the society. He got a stand at Gwarzo General Hospital to start a trade of initially selling plastic, but later found out the best business for that stand is Tiba, popularly known as Meshai. The trade he continued even after winning fresh mandate as a legislative member of the local council.
I grew up to see my father doing some trades, so he inspired me.
The Yabu is now proud to be called Councillor Meshai, which some view as derogatory, but he doesn't see it as such because of the dignity he believes it brings to him.
I run my business and as well carry out my office responsibility. This is my view. My advice to politicians and public servants is please let's find something more sustainable.
He attends to his statutory functions and returns to his bar to attend to his customers to the extent that he personally serves many lower to him in status and social esteem, as he is the deputy speaker in the local council. The Yabu now employed others and look forward to expanding the scope. His colleague in the council, Aminu Muhammad, who feels guilty of abandoning the business he was doing before joining politics, regrets his action and advises public servants and politicians to emulate the Yabu Meshai.
People assume politicians get broke after leaving office because of oath of office. Is not true. It is owing to lack of sustainable means of livelihood.
The life of Councillor Meshai is indeed a testimony that there is dignity in labor.
True example of leadership, and nothing beats passion. Respect, Councillor. Time for a commercial break. Stay tuned.
Beautiful, my essence and my energy. My natural glow and my confidence. My freshness and fierceness.
My beautiful is being me.
Review your beautiful this beauty month with amazing discounts of up to 33% off select Nivea products in participating stores near you. Nivea, be you, be beautiful.
Like a bird needs wings to fly, you need skills to be productive. No matter the level of your education, ITF can train you to acquire skills in areas like mechatronics, metal machining, facility technology, electronics and computer networking, information and communication technology, ICT, culinary art, and agriculture. Acquire a skill and transform yourself from being unemployed to becoming even an employer. Be a valuable Nigerian youth. Say no to unemployment and poverty. Industrial Training Fund, developing the nation's human resource.
This na the story of Pekin, we rise to the max. Rain or shine, it not settle for less. Na the story of small boy we get big talent. Home and away. Wait do, it be like say na the story of one man we fall, but we bounce back in style.
Osime, wetin dey motivate you? I want day big, special and great.
Watching us live from Big Brother House Studio.
Joy for Osime and his teammates at Chuck for him as well.
Make we dey enjoy Max Entertainment together.
Sports or movies, telenovela or cartoon, music or reality TV. With just 6,900 naira, you fit get your GoTV decoder plus 1 month Max subscription. Make you dey enjoy over 75 channels with day for GoTV Max. Make you and your special ones they enjoy better things on Max levels. GoTV, love it.
Nivea Black and White Deodorant protects me and my favorite outfits. That's why I feel confident and free. With 5-in-1 anti-formula, I stay fresh and protected for 48 hours. And my clothes stay stain-free. Nivea Black and White Anti-Stain Deodorant. Try it. Nivea's 5-in-1 anti-action formula and 48-hour protection is also available for men.
Nigerian youths are about the greatest assets the country has at the moment. It is therefore not surprising that the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari is strategically responding to the yearnings of the youth through multiple projects and programs. Youth Entrepreneurship Support Years by Bank of Industry, the Youth Investment Fund by the CBN, and several other conditional cash transfer programs. Recruitment of 774,000 social workers, majority of whom are youths, and so many other projects that are beneficial to youths directly or indirectly. If the administration can do all this, definitely with a degree of patience and time, it can achieve more. Nigerian youths must come together to say no to terrorism, no to vandalism, and no to all disruptive tendencies. Hashtag Youth for Greater Nigeria. Pacifying the youths, unifying the nation.
Back. Now to agriculture. Have you ever heard of sack farming? It is a relatively new practice of growing crops, particularly in sacks. You heard me correctly, sacks or polythene bags. Olubukola Aduwo met with Oluwawemimo Tade in Akure, Ondo State, who is one of the pioneers and trainers in sack farming.
Estimated to increase by at least 50% by 2050, and with the increasing rural-urban migration, sack farming is gradually gaining ground and contributing to food production in the urban centers. Meet Oluwawemimo Tade, a trained nurse who retired from active service to embrace agriculture, concentrating on sack farming, where she uses sacks to plant yams, vegetables, cucumber, onions, pepper, among others. She encourages people to turn their flower pots to vegetable pots, as planting in bags and pots does not require much labor, is economical and profit yielding.
Where your flower is doing well, your vegetable will do well there. You can make a lot of money, even from vegetable alone. If people know that they can get vegetable from you, fresh vegetable, organic vegetable, not the one with chemical, people will be coming to buy from you.
Investigations revealed that people are beginning to embrace these agricultural practices.
The vegetable I've been eating for quite some time now is grown using that method.
An agricultural expert, Manuel Muijesu, applauded sack farming as it is small space friendly, sustainable and more productive, but warned farmers to check the quality of sacks and polythene bags used for such purpose.
Most of all these sacks are being used by maybe from cement. Cement are some of the materials that are carcinogenic. So the person must make sure that the bags are well cleaned and the soil sterilized before planting, or else that crop could be polluted.
Some people have interest in farming, but because they don't have arable land to cultivate, the ambition will just be there. But now you can make use of sack mark to get what you want.
Good initiative. Now sacks, polythene bags, and used plastic bottles, they're also very good for urban agriculture. So you don't need to use so much land in your house, in the urban areas. You can start your own farm. We'll take our last commercial break now.
It's not dark, it's bright. Black is bold. Black is every color, all together. My thing, your thing, our thing mixed together. Black shines bright. Drink it in.
The center is purposely established in order to provide these services that are examinations, medical examinations and investigations that were not provided for in Kano as well as the entire Northwest region. It's equipped with modern technological equipment in terms of radiological services. We have MRI 1.5 Tesla. We have digital X-ray as well as for the ultrasound equipment. The importance of the center cannot be overemphasized. Just within 1 year, the center attended to thousands and numerous patients as well as medical examinations. NKDC is established in order also to provide these healthcare facilities as a discounted price.
This message is from the Federal Ministry of Information and
That's Newsline this week. Join us same time Sunday next week. Good night and God bless Nigeria.